Can a $1.25 leatherworking tools from the dollar store really beat $200 worth of tools from a Leathercraft store? Let's find out. You heard me right. $1.25 for each one of these. If you saw my first video, you know that some of them had abysmal results. The safety scraper and stamp back were horrible when it came to being used for Leathercraft. Don't buy them. You also know that I really like the craft knife and the pump spray bottle. Pretty much worth their weight in gold. But that was only the beginning. Let's take a look at the second half of my Dollar Tree Leatherworkers Tool Guide. This is the embossing tool right here. The embossing tool, this is great. It's got little ballpoint ends on both sides. You just want to trace your pattern onto your wet leather and then carve it. This is a great tool for that. $1.25. It replaces the craft tool stylus, which is $7. If you paint something real fast and you left your brushes at home, this is what you're going to go to right here, the brush set. Now, is all the hair is going to fall out of these brushes? Probably, but you're not going to keep them. These are ones you could just paint with real quick and then dump them off real fast. Or let's say your liner gets messed up and you want to get a new liner brush. You can grab one of these real quick just to do an pinch until you get your good one in the mail. You get the Angelus brush set, it's $13. Multi-purpose cement. I use the Barge all-purpose cement typically. That's like $10. This will do in a quick pinch. It looks like it's some type of rubber cement. Dries clear, extra strong. I don't know. We'll test it out here in a little bit and see what the consistency looks like. See if it is actually like this all-purpose cement or if it's a different all-purpose cement. We'll take a look at that. But definitely, $1.25 can't beat it. Normally $10. All right. The art palette. Okay, so you're working with your paints. You're working with your leather paints. Tandy does sell a plastic paint tray that has 10 little spaces. This has 6 little spaces. But there's 6 of them in there. 6 times 6 is 36. That's like getting 3 of the artist plastic paint tray that are sold on Tandy. Really, you can't beat this right here. $1.25 for 6 of them. Please. You can never go wrong with a clamp set. These clamp sets are freaking great, man. The clamp sets, again, Dollar Tree, $1.25. And you get 6 clamps in there. You buy a couple of these, you're really good to go. We're going to see how well these spring clamps hold. We'll find that out in a little bit. Paper cups for mixing paints, for washing your brushes. Craft sticks, basically popsicle sticks. This is great for mixing epoxy. And Leathercraft, you can mix different things with it. You can apply your cement with it. $1.25 for 100 of them. That's really not bad. And last but not least of the honorable mentions is these containers. I'm really excited about these containers. Again, you need to wash your brush real fast. You can use one of these containers, but I'll show you. I actually have a use for these containers. I'm experimenting with something, and I'd like for you guys to see it, but these plastic containers would do a good job for that. And then these right here, it says craft and bead storage, but again, it's just little plastic containers. This is a 4-pack, this is a 6-pack, so awesome, big stuff. Before we put each tool to the test, if you're enjoying this video, do me a favor. Click on that old thumbs up down there so YouTube could share this video with other makers just like me and you. Let's try our embosser right here. Okay, we're going to let that dry. This stylus. You can see it very faintly. You guys see that? $1 again. This one's not bad. Alright, let's see what we got. Let's try our cement. Ooh, It does have some vapors to it. It's not as thick as the stuff right here. You see definite difference. Oh, come on, buddy. So let's put you together. I'll pull you apart, let you dry. See how one more of a consistency like that. Put you together, pull you apart, let you dry. There's little spring clamps. Let's see how our glue is holding up. This one, I don't know which one's which. We'll find out. Oh, this is the rubber cement. So, that's a good hold right there. This one, it holds, but not as well. You still pull it apart. So. Okay, let's color that sucker in. This thing's a little stiff. That's good though. We'll use that. Okay. Try it with a finer brush. This is definitely performing a lot better. Nice. So not bad. See how much hair it's pulled out. Trying to tug it out. Nothing's getting tugged out. Nope. Okay. They'll stay together in a very nice point though. Oh, we didn't test our little paint cups, but I think we know how those perform. The cool thing is most people don't know about these is that you can take them and fold them out into a dish. You unroll this sucker right here. There. So if you want something a little bit bigger than the original one, boom. Look at the difference there. Look at the difference. By the way, you can also do this at Wendy's with your little ketchup dispensers. What's nice is it looks like it has a sheen on it. Keep water from going through there. That's nice. So we could use it as a water cup to rinse brushes. And the nice thing right here is this cup. Nice little storage containers. And I'll tell you what I'm using it for. It's right here. It's leather conditioner. This is a formula I'm working on for my own leather conditioner. It'll darken it a little bit. But what it will do is keep it soft and keep it supple. Has a little bit of sealant in it to help protect it from moisture coming in. Just a little bit. It brings out those tones real nice in your veg tan leather. This will be available real soon. I'm testing out a few different formulas, so what I can do is I can do an A, B, C. Try a few different formulas. I'm working on perfecting this, but I think I'm onto something here. It looks pretty good. Keep an eye out for future videos. I'll be giving samples of this stuff away. Go ahead and subscribe to my channel now, because I will be giving samples of this away. I have a little contest. Now that we've seen the second half of our tools in action, let's do a quick review so we know which one were duds, and which ones really stood out as winners. Multi-purpose cement. This one sucked, man. It didn't have the holding power that my barge contact cement did. And while this is $1.25, the barge was only $10. The last thing you want to do is have your project falling apart because of crappy adhesives. The brush set. This thing will do in a pinch, but you know what? There's so much detail work when you're painting leather, getting into all those lines, that you really need good liner brushes. You see how frayed that tip is? Yeah, that's not really that great, and it's not going to make it real easy to get into tight little corners. If you're looking for a set that I really like, check out this Angela set. I think this thing was like $10 or $12, not much, but the brush heads have much better fibers on them, and they seem to hold their shape a lot better. The paper cups, I mean, they weren't bad. You could use a little baby jar, and that's reusable, and you could really slosh your brushes around here a lot harder to get them clean than you can in something like this. You might end up knocking this over. The craft sticks, you get 100 of these for $1.25. 100, like 100 of them. It's the best deal around. But at the end of the day, they're still just like little popsicle sticks. They're pretty cheap everywhere you buy them. But again, if you really need some, 100 of them for $1.25. Not bad. The embossing tool. Man, this was a pretty good buy. You know, for $1.25, it did the same job that the Tandy version did right here, which is like, I don't know, $8. I think the tip might be slightly smaller on the Tandy version. I don't know. The spring clamps. Then you get 6 of these rubber tip clamps in one package for $1.25. These are great for holding your projects together when you glue them. And you get 6 of these rubber tip ones. 6 of them for $1.25 with the rubber tips. Pretty good. These plastic containers are great. You get 6 of these for $1.25 as well. Reusable. Can't beat that at all. And my favorite tool from the second set from the Dollar Tree would be the art palette. The art palette was great. You get, again, 6 of these for $1.25. That's less than a quarter a piece. I've already started using them to mix up colors. And look, you can do custom colors, separate them out, add a little water in there, make watercolors out of them. These things are fantastic. 6 for $1.25. Definitely my favorite out of this bunch. So which of my favorites is the $1.25 King of Kings? That's a tough choice. The cutting mat from the first video, that is going to have a permanent home in my bug out bag. It's nice and compact, and for $1.25, you really can't beat it. But it's not going to replace the larger version of my shop for everyday cutting. The artist palette is really great for mixing paints and thinning them out with water. Unbeatable value, 6 for $1.25. But I won't be painting leather as often as I'm cutting it. Each product showed tremendous value, especially for the price. What do you think? Which one of these was your favorite? Let me know down in the comments below. I really, really want your opinion on this. Remember, Big Stacks grows, Big Stacks builds, and Big Stacks makes. If you want to see my first Leathercraft Leatherworkers Tool Guide video, click on it right here. I'll see you guys next time on Big Stacks Small Workshop.